tuned for that. How's it going?
Cute. Good. I feel like a commercial is going to come in now.
Right now, enter commercial.
Yes.
Well, we are the commercial.
Yes.
I don't even remember when we did the show last. It was during COVID.
Yeah.
Because we were talking.
I felt like we were like breaking the law. Remember, we were like, we shouldn't be doing this, and should the radio show be canceled?
Right.
It was like it was right at the beginning.
Yeah, you were one of my first guests. We're like, should we be in masks on air?
Yes.
And I mean, I know that in our line of work, we have to be pretty careful.
Yeah.
It is tricky.
For sure.
These new COVID time.
Yeah.
The COVID fatigue I've talked about on the show. It's all dragging on a little bit long.
Yeah.
But we're back and open, and Plum is open.
Yes. Who knew?
Who knew?
People say, what were you doing during COVID or during the start of the pandemic when everything was shut down? And, people say, oh, you started a grocery store, grocery club. And I was like, yeah, we started this new thing, and we delivered groceries to, I think, probably about 65 families every week.
Yeah.
Which is crazy for 3 of us. But then we were also renovating the restaurant. So that was a 5-month renovation that I think people didn't know, and they wouldn't know if they weren't downtown during the pandemic. But if you were downtown, you would have known that we were renovating. So it's always interesting to see the feedback from people that, you're kind of like, do you come downtown? Do you really know what's going on? Or are you just talking smack?
Yeah.
So that's always a tough.
I noticed
thing.
the online world doesn't always know about downtown. So if you don't know about Lethbridge's downtown, Erica is one of my neighbors. I own Catwalk Salon Spa. You own Plum. I can't even count all the celebrations and memories I have at Plum, from birthdays, live music, drag shows.
Today I was thinking about you and I at the very beginning when I bought Plum from Jeremy.
Yeah.
And Club Dee was just starting.
Yeah.
Had moved.
Yeah. Upstairs.
Into the building, and we would have these amazing Friday and Saturday nights, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And then we started to just incorporate drag into Plum.
Yeah.
And that was 6 years ago, and it's funny because I paint the walls blue or try to navigate a pandemic, and it's like the end of the world. But at the beginning of Plum, how it started, if you would know our relationship with downtown and with all different kinds of people, and we just flow. We just do what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And Plum kind of morphed into something that was high-end and fine dining and very unattainable for a lot of people. I couldn't have afforded to eat at Plum at the end, and so that was part of me selling it to begin with, was that it was a completely, it was just a vast difference from who I was to what it had become.
Interesting. I didn't actually realize you were feeling like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we all love Plum, and Plum is has been known as a fine dining experience, and again, if you're not a downtowner and you think there's like a little club or clique here, we are, but we want you to join it, so we really are here to advocate for our downtown community and home, and that's something really important to us. And during this pandemic, we've seen some of our friends not just shift their businesses, change their businesses. We've all had to make accommodations, from Catwalk to Stella's to you. We've seen some of our friends leave, like Drunken Sailor in Stoketown. I miss Glenn. I miss Laura Lee. It's tough.
Yeah.
And so, but again, Plum Telegraph's done a great job with the patio outdoor to change their thing up, and we're all just trying to make it work.
Yeah, definitely.
So during the pandemic, you did not close down. You were doing the grocery club, and now you are reopened. It looks so great.
Thank you.
And it's so exciting because still the weather's nice. When you set it up like a little market on the patio, it's adorable.
It's been so good. And at the beginning, people would say, "What do you mean I can't sit on the patio?" And I'm like, guys, I could have one 4-top out there.
Right.
Like I could literally have 4 people out there, and if you stay for an hour and each spend $20, that's my full revenue. Or I can set up a market and sell $300 or $400 of sandwiches and breads and jams on the street. We got to think creatively here, not what are we most comfortable with or what do we demand as consumers. I think it's instead saying, whoa, how can I participate and trust these people that have been downtown for this time that we know. We know drug crisis, we know water main breaks, we know construction, we know businesses opening and closing, we know, and we will navigate this, and we haven't made it as far as we have because we don't have the ability to do this. So, I think underestimating people is a dangerous thing to do because you need us.
Y-
We need each other.
Yeah, you need us. We need you. I
Yeah.
mean, you need small business to keep this economy
Totally.
going. We need to employ people. We need to engage our community. We need to have a heart of the city, and I think that's what the downtown is. And
Yeah.
I noticed you have a huge heart, and I see it just expanding over the years. You've done a lot of work with the downtown communities. I see you out walking, and I know you kind of partnered up with Sage Clan for a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you still
do.
are.
Yeah, we just did dinner on Thursday for 75 people, and we did Indian tacos. So we just did that on Thursday, which was also our first night reopening the restaurant for dinner.
Wow.
And I forgot. And so I was like, oh my God, we're doing dinner for Sage Clan tonight. And I just looked at Mark and I was like, hey, Mark. And he's like, don't even. And I was like, we have to cater for 75 people.
And your opening
But
night.
it was like the morning, and we got it all together, and Sage Clan came and helped with what they needed to, and it ended up working out fine. But yeah, we definitely still work together, and I think part of my role with Sage Clan before was lots of patrolling and getting to know people downtown, and offering support, I think, to the Sage Clan members themselves, and becoming friends with so many of them, and really building a bond within that team. But when the pandemic hit, it was really important to me not to expose myself to anything that could compromise the grocery club, or my children, or the restaurant, and the 3 employees that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I had to make a tough decision and just say, I can't technically go on patrol, but I can still patrol.
Mm-hmm.
So then it
You
was
patrol,
just
you and your dog, I
an
see you.
independent. How can I do this safely in the pandemic and still reach where I need to and how I need to, but do it in a way that is a little safer than being with a whole group.
If you're not aware what Sage Clan is, it's a group that does it supports our vulnerable communities in downtown Lethbridge. I really like the way they operate with some animals. Like they bring the dogs around, they feed people, they're kind to people. They're actually located behind Catwalk now. So when I'm on my balcony at night, I'm always like, hey guys, I'm chatting with them. They're hard work, and it's a great group you can get involved with, and so.
Yeah.
But other than that, you have now Plum open, and a lot of people have been asking me, is Plum open? Is Plum open? It is, but it's in a new capacity, and you still do have a menu and a bar.
Yeah, we're doing
and it looks
brisket,
great.
Yeah, brisket and just all kinds of stuff. Roasted chicken. We have beef Wellington right now. Everybody loves it. So,
Wow.
Some cocktails, but we have a full bar. You can still order all the cocktails, because we created them, so we can make them.
Nice.
Still, and it's just pretty chill. I think I was planning to sell Plum, and we talked about that before,
Right.
but that didn't happen, and so it was March 18, and I was back at Plum, and the pandemic had kind of started the 12th, I think, but Plum was still operating, and then I went back, and I had to lay everybody off. So went back, laid everybody off because it's the pandemic, and we had to do that. So, and then I just sort of sat there and I was like, what next? Like, what the heck? And then the grocery club, and I think we've talked about that before, how that started.
That's a new episode, new times.
Yeah, well, and that started through wanting to continue to feed people with Sage Clan, and I had a credit with Cisco from all that I had spent the year before, and I just used some of that to order food for my family and for people downtown. And then we became a distribution center for Harbor House and for Sage Clan. So 2 weeks, well, kind of like 10 days, 7 days into the pandemic, all the restaurants that had closed with like their chocolate milk and their shredded lettuce and their cheese sticks and like the shit that we saw that came from restaurants that I'm like, dudes, like what restaurant orders this many carrot sticks?
Oh
like
my
where are they
God.
made? Crazy. But all of that got shipped, and then we just distributed it to 750 families within 24 hours. So
Wow.
we had like 4 pallets of food, and there were 3 of us who just broke that down. And so anyways, then once we became an approved distributor to do that, because we were available, we were like, well, we should just do groceries. So we started our grocery club, and it was hard because we couldn't tell all of Plum people that it existed because we don't have the infrastructure.
Right.
We don't have a walk-in cooler or freezer, let alone shipping and receiving and delivery people and insurance to run a grocery store.
Right.
So we were just trying to do it with like some friends
Yeah.
and family to kind of keep us employed, and then it grew and grew from this like Facebook group.
Yeah.
And then people started to get angry, like, why don't I know you're open, and how do I spend my gift cards? And it was like, oh my God, there's 3 of us. Like, I don't have a warehouse.
Right.
The banquette is the dry storage. Like, so then the restaurant morphed into a warehouse. Do you remember?
Yeah, I came in.
The warehouse.
The
best days were the warehouse days.
Yeah, I got a really great hot sauce from you.
Holy moly.
And you were getting groceries from my mom.
Holy shit.
You were doing great.
We would line these tables up and have cases of like peppers, and we work with Fork in the Road, so they would bring all this fruit and we would can it and jar it, and literally the whole restaurant was this dirty, like there was like a tumbleweed blowing, like it was just crazy, and there was no one downtown. And so we started this grocery club, and that was real rad. I was like, I could do this forever. This is fun.
Yeah.
This is fun, and my kids are here with me, and they're weighing potatoes, and I'm so close with the people that are here with me. And
you were heavy lifting. Your arms were looking toned.
Yes,
look at them. You're still wearing it.
Yeah, and it was just a great time. And then as my kids were there more and more, and it became real that we needed to reopen because people were buying groceries less and less. Mm-hmm. Then it was, how can we create a space that is family, my family, is comfortable, because if I'm doing this, I can't sell it. It's not worth anything anymore. So, I'm like, how can I make this good for me and my family? And that's where the inspiration for how Plum is now came from.
Well, it's coming from you, and I mean, as an owner of a business, it's got to come from you. So I wanted to hear this from your mouth on our show tonight.
Yes.
Are you still doing grocery? Are you still doing grocery club?
Yes.
Okay.
We may look at putting it on a hiatus because we're getting like a couple orders a week.
Right.
And it's a little difficult, but I really am watching the pandemic very closely, and I just want people to know and be rest assured that as soon as we need to do that, we're ready. Like, we've learned.
Yeah.
We've learned, and we are ready for distribution, and we are ready for new levels of grocery services and new partnerships with people that I think saw what we did, or maybe were doing something on their own, and collaborations happen, and the entrepreneurs that were hustling during the beginning hours of this, we're still working together to make sure we're there again and again and again.
I think people really underestimate the impact that the shutdown had on employers, it had on businesses, people. But I remember just again when we closed down, I mean, the downtown was a ghost town. I felt like it was the end of the world movie. But I
loved it.
But I would come film my Jess FM show here every week, and I would come and see you every week, and I would see what you were doing, and we were like, hardly recognized each other. We were like, who are we anymore without our businesses the way we knew? It was kind of fun. Sometimes I miss those pandemic days.
I know.
The mania of it.
Yeah.
So I know on Thursday night you were reopening.
Yes.
Or not.
So this last Thursday we opened, so we're doing Wednesday to Saturday, 11:30 to 4, so lunches and daytime. And that was largely to do the grocery club still. So people, again, wanted to have an opinion, like, why are you open at lunch and not dinner? I'm like, guys, I'm not packing your groceries at 7 o'clock at night or at 10 o'clock at night once I get done serving you your dinner. I need to deal with groceries at 8 a.m., and that means I can be open till 4 and pay my team for 8 hours instead of 14 hours.
Right.
So, again, I think that we make it, people don't always understand the thought process behind why we do what we do. And for me, it was grocery club was a commitment that I made to the community. Lunch fits into that. Dinner does not. By adding dinner into that, I'm creating a 15-hour workday. I can't afford the labor to do that.
Wow. So
lunch is first Wednesday to Saturday, 11:30 to 4. And then we're just started doing Thursday, Friday dinners from 5 to 10.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I know because, what time till 10?
Yes.
What time?
5 till 10.
5 till 10?
I mean, and 10 is negotiable, as Plum always was. We've never had hours.
Well, as we've seen in Lethbridge and around Canada, the virus apparently gets worse at 11 because everywhere's closed at 10. It drives me nuts.
Well, I think that they've said something like midnight. You have to be closed down. Like curfew.
Don't feed them. don't get water on them after midnight or whatever happens. COVID gets worse.
Feeding people after midnight is going to be treacherous.
I do have some comments here, and I just want to say hello. It says, this is from Barry, and it says, hello, Erica. Looking forward to Saturday. This is great for the community and super cool backdrop. Love it, you guys. And that is, do you know who Barry Livingstone is?
I don't know. Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah, there you go.
Barry's playing music on Plum. That's a stage, actually. So that comment is about from a talented musician that is performing at Plum on Saturday. From 1:30 till 3:30, we are doing instrumental and acoustic, And I had an idea about karaoke because I know musicians aren't supposed to sing, but if you had like a playlist on the table and your guests could sing for you, I thought that was super rad. That
Oh,
maybe,
that's
like,
interesting.
Yeah, I thought about it with kids where there could be a kids performer doing the instrumental and then you are singing with your kid at the table. So getting around some of these vocal things would be kind of cute. But anyways, Barry and Leif, you know the Breathe and Heathen.
Yeah.
Leif, they're performing 1:30 to 3:30 on Saturday.
Right.
So that's what that comment is. So we, part of our renovation of Plum 7.0, or whatever it is our red brick stage, it's called. And it's a little stage, a little 2-person stage that we built out of the bricks from the planters that the city took out during the pandemic from the end of the street. I hoarded them, all the bricks. So if anybody wants vintage bricks, come and see me.
I saw you being very traumatized when they took these planters out of our downtown, and you were hoarding these bricks.
Yeah, and then I built a brick wall between me and Chef Stella to keep the Italians out, but I'm also Italian.
Oh
but it was
my
keep the
gosh.
and then I got in trouble by the city for building brick walls.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
that's what I was doing.
we're tearing these bricks down, and we're bringing our community in downtown
but
together.
We built a stage called the Red Brick Stage, and we're looking to do.
Is that what you're calling it, the Red Brick Stage?
At Fly Plum.
Well, this is a great segue
So,
into our next section, and I do want to say I saw the Red Brick Stage at your store tonight. There is now a live music stage at Plum, and I've also seen people get away with. Well, actually, I'll save it for
authors. Sorry, we've got lots of authors. So we've
yeah.
had a couple book releases where the author can read, or people can read the book. We've had a breathing exercise done. Just
with Leaf?
Just a few different cool things. So it's not just music; it's just a space.
Well, I promised you a special surprise today on our show, and as if Erica is not enough, I got another local celebrity and downtown advocate, and just an amazing woman all around here. So we're going to welcome our next guest on Jess FM. You asked for it tonight. Get on over here, beautiful.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, Shayla Miller is in the house.
Hi.
We were just talking about live
this
music.
moves.
Yeah, it's like a lazy Susan. Although every Susan I know is hardworking.
Yeah,
Me too.
Right?
Me too.
Right. So, all right, we got Shayla Miller here, and speaking of the Red Brick Stage at Plum, maybe there's a future collaboration.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, I don't do much instrumentals, but I could try.
What do you mean you don't do instrumentals?
Because you can't sing in the moment right now, right?
Okay,
That's what
but-
you just said? Did I miss that?
Yeah, I don't think that you can.
So-
3 feet away?
Unless we put up a thing, and I don't want to do that.
So
No.
I went up to the gay bars up in Calgary and Edmonton the last couple weekends, and it was really odd because there's no dancing.
Yeah.
So when you go to a gay bar and there's no dancing, it's like I feel like we're in Footloose, you know?
Yeah.
There's no singing. So
That's what we're in right now.
I feel like we're in that
Footloose
horror movie.
Yeah.
So I feel like someone's gonna get river danced to death. That was like in like a scary movie parody of that. Anyway, there was like no dancing because the family river danced a guy
What
to
if you
death.
were just a guest and your band was playing and you were a guest that was singing?
I just saw the stage, and I don't think my band could fit on the stage.
No, you have to learn an instrument. It's you.
I want to say I went to Slice on Thursday night, and I saw and heard live music, but they did have a plexiglass.
Yeah.
But that's the first time I've seen live music in like 9 months.
I went out to a couple shows at the Slice with the screens, and I was kind of procrastinating it because I'm like, oh, I want to see live music, but the screens, it feels so weird.
Right.
But it was actually so nice, and I just like let go of the fact that the screens were there. I danced all night that my legs hurt for like
So
4
good.
days. It's even on the phone with Tyler Bird, my drummer, the next day. He's like, how was the night? And I started crying, and I was like, Tyler, I danced all night to
don't
Peter
you
and
miss
the
it so
Wolves.
much?
Yeah.
Peter and the Wolves, that was a busy night.
Oh, it was amazing.
I miss dancing.
I don't think you're
and
supposed
singing.
to dance, but I just said like no pandemic's gonna stop me from dancing right now. Everyone was dancing like really far apart from each other. It was mostly just me on the dance floor, but it was really nice.
Do you guys think that with all this distance that's happening, like we can't sing, we can't dance, we're all sitting quite close together without masks. We are in a cohort. We work together. We see each other like all the time. We're like, do you think this is going to create like this distance of people, or do you think behind closed doors people are going to like latch on because they
I
miss
think
contact?
both. I mean, I think
You know what I mean?
in different ways.
Like
I think it will be like that.
You do?
Yeah, I think we'll be affected by this in ways that we just don't understand yet.
Yeah.
You know, anxieties and, you know, the opposite. I don't know.
We're seeing business and careers and people's lives changing so much through COVID. I'm sure you guys can recognize that in your own families, decisions for school, work, career. We're just seeing shift happening everywhere. It's a lot of shift.
Totally.
So Shayla, let's talk about why you are here and why we're really excited to have you on tonight. What's the big announcement?
I have I recorded an album before the pandemic, and it's coming out in a few months, but the very first single off the album is coming out tomorrow.
Hang on. Your first single off the album. This is the build-up track.
Yeah.
This is the one.
Yeah, this is the one.
Is there a music video?
There's a music video. The music video, it's probably coming out tomorrow, but we might wait a week, and I might just be like, just kidding, it's coming out in a week.
Yeah, the video doesn't always drop the same day as the single.
Yeah, no, we were planning on it, but there's a few things that glitches we came upon today, and that's fine. We talked about it, and we're like,
I love a
we
pop
can wait
career.
a couple more days if we need to.
Most artists release the single, a lyrical video, and then the real video.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I should have consulted with you.
Consult with
and not my
me.
manager.
Yeah. Screw him. I'm the pop guy.
Her.
Janet.
Don't screw her. Don't screw him. Your manager's great. But you don't need to drop the video the same day as the single. So where can we download the single, and tell us what it's called, because we need some new Shayla Miller to lift our spirits.
Okay.
This one will lift your spirits, called Big Hair, Small City.
I thought your hair looked big tonight.
Oh, thank you. Just look up in the screen. Yeah, it's pretty big.
Okay, we'll look at the screen for a sec. Yeah, it's pretty big. So big hair, little city.
Small city.
Say little.
Fart.
That's okay.
I swore. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So, hang on. Big hair, little city.
Small city.
Big hair, small city.
You're making it funnier. It's
Oh
good.
my
You're making me laugh. It's
gosh.
fine.
Oh my gosh.
Big hair, small
Oh my
city,
God.
and it's a vibe, not a sentence. It's a statement, not a sentence. So when we're going through all the metadata of the songs and like, what are we going to put a comma in there? Because big hair, small city grammatically should probably have a comma, but I'm like, no, it's not a sentence. It's a statement. It's
Wow.
a vibe. Big
Totally.
hair, small city,
I
like
get it.
feeling good about where you are, who you are. Doesn't matter. Have that big city glam about you. In the small rural towns and small cities, it doesn't matter. Just be who you are wherever you are.
I love
That's
that
kind of message. That's that's the message. So anyway, that's the title track of the album. So the album's going to be called Big Hair, Small City. So this is the title track, the big push of the big first single. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, I always love an album. I love albums. I love pop stars. I love music. But I love a title track. Or like, I love a title, and I love when there's a song after the title track.
Right. Yeah.
And wow, for you to have your first single, the title of the album, I love that.
Yeah, I kind of debated it. I'm like, should this be like the
let's do
last
it.
single that I put out before we released the album? And I just said, no. We had the idea for the music video, and I was like, let's just go with it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sometimes when there's an album called oh shit, I just came up with Butterfly.
Yeah.
Butterfly, but Mariah released the song Butterfly.
Yeah.
But a lot of times there's a title track, Hillary Duff, Dignity. Dignity wasn't a single, but I love that song on the album. So I'm really happy that your title track is being released as a single.
Yeah.
So
thank you,
I feel
yeah.
like it's insight to you. Because as a musician, that whole thing is coming from you.
Absolutely. The song title, the album title came from Blue Baker, who's a photographer that you work with, and that I work with. And when he first did his first photo shoot with me, he said, Shayla, you know how he is, and it's like, he's like, Shayla, you just got this big hair, small city vibe, and I'm digging it. And I'm like, man,
I love it.
I gotta write that down. I have to write that down. And then I
Aw.
wrote it down, and then he dropped me off like his very first he did a little portrait frame of me and put it in an envelope and said, Shayla, big hair, small city all the way kind of thing.
What?
And I was like,
It's
Blue,
like a
thank
talisman.
you.
Yeah.
And I still have it. He wrote it on a paper towel, and it just like lifts me up. And,
Yes.
and so I wrote the song after that, and then decided this is such a strong title, strong vibe, and it's exactly how I feel. And he just like penned it. Like he just said it, and I was like, Blue, you just like explained exactly how I feel all the time in one statement. So anyway, and then I wrote the song, and it all came together.
Well,
that's a cool story.
That's a really okay.
Yeah.
Blue Baker is not on Facebook, but you should join just for that
He
story.
is sometimes.
No, he told me he's not.
He quit.
Mm-hmm. So Blue and I did a
His
photo
wife
shoot.
is though.
Well, Jen,
We
you
can call it to
share
Jen,
this, okay?
Share it with him.
So I spent Saturday night with doing a photo shoot with Blue. Blue always gets the most out of me. I don't know what he's looking for and what he's trying to find, but he's seeking something, and he usually finds it. And
He's an amazing
He's
artist.
an amazing artist. He finds that heart thing. So I had no idea that story. So
Yeah.
thanks for sharing.
Yeah,
Because
my
he's
pleasure. Thank you.
if you're not following Blue Baker, and it's BLUE
Yeah.
or EU.
EU.
BLEU
Yeah.
Baker on his Instagram. You should really be checking out his art and his photography because he's a great artist, and he's going to be doing Catwalk's next headshots. He did the shots for your new album.
Yeah.
And me and him and Alicia did a photo shoot on Saturday.
Yeah, it looked great. The
Oh
pictures,
my
holy.
gosh. We were lighting ourselves on fire. It was really crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't
But
wait
he,
to see those
He makes
ones.
you dig deep.
He does.
He does.
Yeah.
I am just so thrilled to be here with both of you. You're two such wonderful women.
Thanks, Levi.
And in my life, not just women, humans. So
Thank you for having
yeah,
us.
it's so good.
Yeah.
I have heard the single, but I will make sure to download it tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
So is it like, okay, sorry, you already said it, but let's just plug this.
Yeah.
It's on iTunes?
Yeah, it'll be on everything. Spotify, Apple Music. It'll be on just anything. You pay, basically, as an artist, when you're distributing something online, you pay for them to distribute it on everything. Even the things that you don't even know exist, it's on there too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you get a royalty from it.
Napster's back. Did you guys know that?
I love Napster.
Yeah, I just found that out. It was
Napster's
like
back?
Napster. I was like, okay, yep.
Loving this new pink streak in your hair.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
it's
you.
great.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
Big pink
showing
hair,
us.
small
Great.
city.
I love it.
Big pink and blue hair.
Oh my.
I keep twisting. Sorry.
That's all right. We can twist together.
Twist and shout.
We are all very into the downtown. You're always hanging out at Slice. You're painted on the mural. We're a block apart. We're actually all just a block apart.
We're all just downtown.
We're downtown.
Scallywags.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't want to be, we're still here.
We
Yeah.
Just
are.
kidding. I'm still gonna always be.
We're gonna be here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think that's something that's cool to say is that, you know, Lethbridge can see who is going to really try to be there with you as this changes and as we navigate. And I don't want to have a boring life.
No, me neither.
You know what? I don't want to have a town that, I mean, I have a great life at home and, you know, lots going on outside, but I want to live in a place that has great, safe places to be. And I think that you can count on us to help create that for you. And so I think that's something that I'm learning is who's here, who's staying, who's planning, who's, you know, continuing to navigate what we need to. And that's interesting to see. So I'm glad we're here.
Absolutely.
Stella.
And it's a lot of hard work. I always, when you said that, I referenced the song Pet Shop Boys, We Were Never Being Boring.
Yeah.
And that is a line that none of us are ever being boring.
No, we're not.
Oh my God.
And we're having a fun, colorful show, and we need uplifting during these times. But I was talking to Erica before the show, and I'm going to bring up a little bit of you said there can be a loneliness sometimes with all this, and I want to talk about that because I know you as an artist feel that, and I feel it as a business owner and artist as well. Could we talk a little bit about, we're all feeling, we're all up and down in this world right now, but like, what did you mean when you said you feel a loneliness, and then we'll elaborate.
So I text Levi and I was like, okay, so I'm doing dinners and I need you to come. And I was just filled with nostalgia, like thinking about Plum back when we began.
You said 6 years ago.
6.5 years ago, just about. And I remember nights feeling less lonely when your friends come in, you know, or when people you know, when they come in, you're just kind of less, you're more comfortable to learn, you're more comfortable to make mistakes, you're more comfortable to get feedback and to actually trust it, you know, and plus it's a pandemic, so it's like safe germs versus scary germs, you know, it's just these things that you're thinking about. And so I've been thinking a lot about building Plum, and again with you and Pride and Club Didi and so many amazing events that we had, and artists come through, and like DJs, just we did so many things,
birthdays,
and everybody was like, don't do that, you're gonna, you know, we don't need another gay bar, we don't need this, we don't need that. And I just remember all this grief all the time about it, and I was like, no, I just want good people. And so I think that's a call out from me is that I'm calling on people that loved Plum 6 years ago, because this is grassroots, and this is back to, you know, Prohibition even, where a lot of our amazing cocktails came from. And I think I was, maybe had something to do with bringing the Negroni to the city about 6 years ago. Old fashioned too.
Oh,
so
geez.
we, you know, I know how to cocktail, and we know how to do what we need to do. And
Now all my friends are drinking Negronis, and they're nasty.
me and Travis, and then Jared. But it, yeah, I think it's a call out to people that loved what it used to be when we had only 6 tables to begin with, because it was over the last 6 years that we grew to 12 tables. But this is back down to where we were.
We're rebuilding, so you don't need to feel lonely. We're here.
Yes.
But I
She's
think about
gonna.
that, where
We're
it's
gonna
like,
find a way to do some
your
music
people.
with a face shield. I'm gonna come drink Plum
No,
Perfect.
But Shayla, you could help me with stuff that would work.
And I mean, it's hard to be vulnerable. Like when you say that being lonely, that vulnerability is not always a popular sentiment.
Yeah, it's
but
scary.
But
You're
it's
like on display, and then I'm like, don't write me a TripAdvisor review right now. Like, are you? I'm not even gonna look. Like, I don't care if you like the color of the walls, because you don't have my permission to give me your feedback about that anymore, because we're doing what we need to do.
Good for
and
you,
it's
Erica.
just about
That's
us
great.
getting by and making safe places for the people we love. And for every person that doesn't like the color blue, there's somebody that loves it and is waiting to come in. And so it's, you know, just clear the way for the people that want to
The
come.
big
and,
hair,
and
small
support
city vibe,
us.
baby.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like Rachel Notley was here this week,
Yeah.
and she was at Plum, Chef Stella, Catwalk. But I know, because we take reservations, and we have Grocery Club. I know what members of council supported me since March, and I know who hasn't.
Yeah.
And so when, you know, Shannon has been around, Lisa has been around.
I
there
shouted
are
on the show when we
people.
came to Plum.
But Rachel Notley comes to town, she's like, boom,
Plum.
you know, and this beautiful lunch, and I was like, thank you. You just made my profit this week.
Yeah.
That $200 you spent just made me money.
Wow.
Literally, that's how tight it is. But again, I haven't seen, there's a lot of support I haven't seen. So people that talk about supporting local, that's something I feel like saying, really? Because we have to keep track of you people that come in our stores. So all of a sudden, there's this business owner ability to say, yeah, this person says they support local. You're voting on them saying it, but we're telling you they don't. So accountability is all of a sudden in our, you know, or people being accountable for how they actually do support people. This is an opportunity to ask for change.
Absolutely.
So,
Good for you.
not that we're going to do it, but we do talk.
But I will say
Just
as
so you
well,
know.
we've seen this in our own business.
Yeah.
We see this at Catwalk. We see who's come back, who's not. But we see a lot of great new familiar faces.
Totally.
And we're
People are
creating a
loving to
new
come.
community,
Yes.
right? We're creating a new community,
Yeah.
and that's what we need to do. So I gotta like do a little bit of homework here. I had some comments, and yes, hello Austin Walsh.
Hi,
Austin's watching.
Yay.
We do miss you and love you.
Very much.
Yes. Oh my God, this is great, Stella. Hello.
Emmanuel.
Hi, peeps. Yeah. And she's noticing Austin here too. Austin's going to download your single.
Your
He's so
mom.
excited. Okay, and we were talking about lonely, and this is a great segue. So my mom says it's super lonely being single, and I want to say back 6 years ago when I was hanging out at Plum, I was going through a divorce.
Oh, yes, me
So
too.
yeah, we've had divorce, we've had all sorts of stuff go on, but yeah, back 6 years ago, I was actually going through divorce and hanging out during those times, and so you gave me a wonderful stomping grounds.
Thanks.
It was great.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All your dates I liked equally as well. I like them all the same, but I remember Austin.
Well, Austin is a huge part of my life, our
Yes.
life, and a
remember your
big
date
star
with
in
Austin.
Lethbridge. Oh, living down here for 4 years, and we just stomping around the city like awesome champions. So.
Yeah.
Mwah.
But you're single now.
Um,
For the first time in a long time.
I've actually been single since January, and this is the longest I've been single since I was 15 years old. So I am single.
Crazy.
So, Mom, I can relate, girl, but I'm not lonely. Well, we're not lonely. That lonely is a choice, because lonely isn't just romantic. It's friends and people and animals. And I mean, how much do our animals help?
A lot.
We've had a lot
Yeah.
of changes with that.
Yes.
Loss of your kitty.
Yeah.
and a new
Oh.
kitty.
Don't make-
Yeah, I know, I'm not getting you cry,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
major when you lose a pet.
Yeah,
and,
it was hard.
and so you have 2 cats?
I have 2 cats now. One very big cat, and my sweet Freddie.
Oh, little
Yeah.
Freddie.
Freddie and Boobert, my 2 kitties.
And you have a beautiful dog. Sometimes he's dyed
Yeah.
blue.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Yes. And Seamus the cat too.
Aw.
Yeah, I've been enjoying dating through COVID. It's a little scary. But doing a little bit of dating and just not ready for a relationship. But you know what? If you put yourself out there, there's someone else who's lonely
if you
too.
can
Wants a
be
little walk.
single through COVID and enjoy dating
Mhm.
and still love yourself at the end of the day, you're great. Like this is the hardest times I would feel like. So you're smooth sailing.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, you're gonna be okay.
Dating. I think last time we talked on the show, you were dating.
Well, I don't remember.
Yeah. We were talking about. We said we should do a show on here. This should be a
Yeah, I
dating
was
show.
dating. I was like seeing people. I was sort of, but nah.
Well, no, but we
I
talked
took
about.
a year off.
We talked about like maybe doing a blind
Yes.
screen and have like 3
I
bachelors
think
on
we
the
were talking
side or
about getting ready
bachelorettes.
to date.
Get
Maybe
ready.
we were talking about getting ready to date.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we were talking about.
Well, now what can you say about that topic?
Look at him. I fell in love.
You fell in love.
Yeah.
We all
Right
have a
after,
love
like,
story.
3 months. It's so yeah, it's new, but it's good.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. It just happened. I was like, what? This is weird.
Well, there's a lot of change happening right
Yeah.
now, and we need
Yeah.
to. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful, Erin.
Yeah, and my person is from the blood tribe, but he left when he was 12.
Wow.
And was in Northern California and Southern Oregon, and then came back about 2 years ago. And so he's a musician, and to see sort of, Lethbridge today again, and to catch up with family that he hasn't seen, and that kind of stuff has been really, really good. So I think that we'll probably work together on some things downtown and initiatives to work on our drug crisis and use music and food for healing, and a lot of the things that I was looking to do or am doing anyways. So that's really kind of what happened, and I was like, what is this? This is weird.
That's really.
It's real cool. So
That's
thanks.
really beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
That's like putting
Yeah.
your money where your mouth is, like right there.
Yes, we can hang
Walking
out.
the
It
walk.
sounds awful.
I will admit I've met this handsome man of yours. I didn't mean to bring that up. How you doing?
I'm fine.
It must be hard being like a popular, famous musician. It's hard because you're not like on stage with men and women throwing themselves at you right now. But are they like slipping into the DM?
Something that what,
Direct message,
what,
direct
though?
message.
Something that Shannon Phillips and I talked about was how
yes,
hard it is.
Yes.
How hard it is to date when you're in that position, because you're always like, is somebody gonna take your screenshot of your texting and use it? Like, it's hard work, but
Yeah.
hopefully it's going well.
I'll tell you guys something.
That's it.
I'm gonna like take the heat off. I'm gonna like cool the heat off of this situation over here. I'll tell you something. So I'm dating, and it's tricky, and people, when you put yourself out there that you are single and you are dating, they want scandalous things from you. I noticed that people want you to say things. They want you to want them. They want pictures. They want information. And I'm very upfront. Like I don't share that stuff, especially not anymore. I'm in a new phase.
Yeah, you have to be.
You gotta be
private.
careful.
About a contract last time.
Well, I don't think we talked on air about the contract, but basically dating me now basically does require
It's like
a
a
contract.
prenup, but
Yeah.
it's like a
It's a
contract.
non-disclosure, okay?
You will not talk about me.
Well, not in a
And I
shitty
will
way.
Not talk about you.
Yeah, well, and it works both ways,
Yes.
so. But it's
Work.
tough nowadays because
It's hard work. Yes.
It is hard. And I feel like as you get older and have had experiences of marriages like we all have,
Yeah.
and
And divorce,
kids and
heartbreak.
divorce and whatever, I feel like sometimes I don't trust myself anymore, and like things that I used to draw the line on like so hard in the sand, and it was always like this is a deal breaker or whatever. It's like I don't know. Definitely got to the point personally where I'm like, yeah, but questioning my own, just everything, all my makeup of who I ever was as a partner or whatever.
Yeah,
it's really hard, and I feel like that never
Totally.
happened until the
Yes.
last couple years, and I'm just like, you know, fall in love really fast and then be like, actually, I'm just kidding. Like,
change my mind.
I don't know if I was,
Yeah.
you know, and it's scary.
My thing is, and I've joked about this, and I'm quite honest about it, but if we make love or I sleep with someone, it was like you're my husband. And I went through a long phase of that. I mean, like I said, I have not been single since I was 15. And I would like fall in love fast, and even I was seeing someone and I started to have those love feelings and like I need you and the codependency, and I had to like breathe and take a minute to look at what it really was. But I think we're all at this COVID moment where we don't know what's happening next, and you're all like, I'm gonna live right fucking now. Like right now, like this brings me pleasure, this brings me enjoyment. I'm, you know, and do you find yourself kind of just like pissing in the wind, like going for it?
I wish I would a little more, instead of, you know, being a little afraid, I guess, and with kids it's hard.
And I don't just mean romance, but life. Like, I'm gonna go take that road trip. I've been everywhere. You've been road tripping.
I'm like, oh my God, I have to stay home. So yeah, we've been kind of everywhere. You know, we were in Banff, we've been to Sundance, we've been to Sundance Meadows, we've been just beautiful places that I didn't even know existed. You know, so part of my journey has been, like what you were talking about, really revisiting the past and who I have been, and you know, what got into, you know, who am I today, and that came from spending time alone. You know, a lot of time alone where I was just like, I just need to cut that out and like cut that off and just focus on myself. So I was doing a lot of that stuff before I met Ty and out with Blue and just doing a lot of things. And then when we met, it was like kind of doing it together. And then I was able to see myself in the backtrack and just chill out and just do this, you know, really think about it. So it's interesting to take that time and then to do it, you know, if you want to. I was good on my own too. Like, I'm like, I'm okay.
I think that's the number one thing, is being happy and actually happy and actually content on your own. Not just pretend happy, but being like, I'm good on my own, I'm confident. Then you can start to allow your heart to really open up, to be like, okay, I have room now for you because I'm happy now on my own and I'm not second guessing things. Now you can come in.
That time is hard, like you are.
Okay, but we are all extroverts, and that time alone can be very hard.
It's true.
And yes, we can be like, I'm okay. All of a sudden, you're like, I'm okay. I love my space. I love my cat. I love my kids. I love my family. Whatever it is, and then you're like, I'm alone. I'm horrible. Like,
totally.
It still hits us all the time.
That's when I call my friends. Like, what are you doing? Stay on the phone for an hour.
So, as three, and again, I think being a musician is being a business owner. You know, you're a stylist, but you're a business owner. You own your art, and we own our arts. And so being I did have a point with all that. So we can be okay with being alone, but then you have those moments that are like, so we had this thing where we're all told to shut down, don't see anyone, but we're also rebels. So then we get this rebel moment where like, we're like, I'm gonna do whatever I want, and you know, and then we like go rogue, you know, don't you?
I went rogue.
Have you got rogue?
I went rogue.
Yeah, but not this time.
In the prohibition.
A while ago.
Okay.
Like 2 years I went rogue. I went rogue 2 years ago.
I go rogue once a week.
I went rogue 2 years ago and did my thing, and then now I'm like, zen. But I gave up drinking. Like, I'll have a sip of wine, but I gave up drinking.
Wow. That's hard to eat a bar, right?
A year ago. Yeah. And I still have a taste, or like I love a glass of scotch, but I gave up drinking, and that was super weird with my relationship with people. And who was I when I was drinking, and where did I feel more comfortable, and why did I want to drink, and why do we use alcohol to celebrate? All these things. And I gave it up. And then I was able to be like, I don't know, who am I?
Right.
Sober, which is super weird. And again, having sex the first time.
Sober?
With someone new.
Or like, I was like, sober?
I'm like, like, this is terrifying.
Have you done that since you were 15?
Yes.
No, it's good. It's good stuff, but it's hard work. It's scary. So I don't know. I just sort of shifted along, you know. But.
Let's check out a few of the comments. Thanks for tuning in on our girl chat, boy chat, people chat here. Okay. They are 4 feet apart. Oh, people are saying.
We're too close.
Oh my gosh, these guys. They don't. I don't see masks. Denver. Just so you know, just because we want to address this, Shayla and I work together every day, and we practice, and we came to the studio in mass. Erica works with the public all day, every day, and also I know that she's taking the proper precautions for her business and her own health and her family. So we are actually in a cohort, and we don't feel bad about doing the show tonight because we know we all live our lives very safely. And we did go through the rundown before the show. So
I had a negative test just last week.
I do the unsymptomatic test.
We do
because I don't want to get
We're
shut.
getting tested all the time to do what we do.
Yeah,
so you know.
just so you know, but I also Jess FM and Lethbridge and downtown, we are taking this very seriously. So just at Denver, there you go. We are not 4 feet apart. We are friends. We're in cohort, and we know we're taking proper precautions.
I just wish Shayla was singing.
And Denver, I get it. Yes, we're all really done with COVID.
We don't have to talk to Denver, but thank you.
But thank you. Catering company, okay. There we go. I just wanted to address it, though, right? It was thrown up on our feed. So, we are pretty close to the end of our show tonight. We got 4 minutes left. What do you guys want to talk about? Let's get a little serious. Do you mind? Business?
Sure. Okay.
Because we talked about some of the supports.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we just had like some nice, very good banter. We're going to talk a little bit about owning a small business, what the government's doing, what's not doing. Me and you are friends with Rachel Notley. You've probably met her.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, she's a lovely woman.
She follows me on Instagram.
Oh,
nice. Ow. I love it. We love Shannon. We love Maria. We love good people supporting. So business is tough right now. We want you to support local and, like you said, actually support local. Some of the support.
Or if you don't, it's okay, but don't act like you know if you don't. That's all. You don't have to. But it's really important that there's representation from people that do.
That's true.
So that's what I really like to see. Like I know like Kelty from Theoretically Brewing, for example, she supported me during the grocery club, and she loves chickens, and she's just real rad. And people are going to run for council, and I know what I know when people talk about, we all do, and we feel it and we see it, and we just know who we are as human beings. So I know that there are people, and I think it's just really important that the representation that we have representing the city and downtown are really involved downtown. So that's
it takes a lot of courage to run your own business, and like I said, we are all running our own business, and
but
it's
it takes
tough.
a lot of courage to say that you're supporting things too, and you're not.
That's not courage.
That's not courage.
That's not courage.
Sorry. Yes, I you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of courage or whatever to say you're doing these things, and then in fact you're actually not doing
Balls.
that. So
I like to use female pronouns
Like
instead of male pronouns when they're positive.
I mean.
So it takes a badge.
Yes.
To say that,
It's
not
just
balls.
It's just important.
I don't know.
That,
Sorry, I said badge is a bad word
when
too.
When money is distributed
but I just feel
to the community, that it's actually being based on, who knows about what's going on downtown and who isn't, and what is the motive behind the events or behind certain things that are happening, and are they really community minded? Are they really good intentioned? And that's, I just think, important that people come together and support in that way.
I agree.
Downtown.
I agree.
To go to work and leave, but come downtown.
Come downtown, and right now it's hard to come downtown because we have a lot of road construction, and we see a lot of people on Facebook saying, "I won't come down because before it was the meters, then it was the site, and now it's the construction." So we want you to come downtown. We want you to support our businesses, and we want. I don't know, like we
want you to be courageous and actually do it.
It's and it's really lovely. Like come down here on a Sunday, come have brunch at Stella's.
And if it's safe enough for us to be open to the point that the city isn't helping us with our rent, and the city isn't helping us with our bills, and the city isn't helping us pay people, and if it's safe enough that we're supposed to do this without that support, then I would like to see people come and visit that are making those decisions. So I think there's a lot more that can be done to help support small business downtown. Pay our utilities. You don't have to give us the money, but there's a lot of things that can happen. I'm getting invoices for, again, business license and patio leases and just these different things. And I'm like, are you serious?
BRZ.
Right now? Yeah, like there's all these things, and I'm like, whoa. You use it that it's not safe or it's a pandemic or I'm not eating out anywhere, but yet we're supposed to be opening, and then we don't get that support, but you yourself aren't comfortable. So it's just a really tough time, I think, that way, but the city can do much more, I think, to find out what we can do, and it can be incentive Something I think a lot about is the vacancy rate. So me and Chef Stella are in locked in leases, but across the street there's 6 things available, and them sitting vacant for a year, their lease rate's going to drop down. So somebody new can come in and compete at half the rent. Wow. For example.
I didn't know that.
So the city needs to control rent and find out what landlords are doing the 25%. There's this program, and who is doing that and who isn't doing it, and who's keeping people locked into leases that are not attainable or sustainable, and
in this
preventing
economy,
people from moving to a place that they can actually afford. And that's not okay. That needs to be looked into.
When I looked at some businesses looking at moving location just to get out of those leases.
And then they can't. And I know landlords that are taking tenants to court right now. It's disgusting to try to get this paid out for this time. And I'm like, are you serious right now? And that rent was the highest in the city. I know because we all talk. Mm-hmm. And that rent was some of the highest in the city to begin with. Like, it's atrocious. That's why your person had to leave, because your rent is unattainable during a normal economic cycle, let alone during a pandemic, and then that person's suing someone. It's disgusting, and that needs to be held accountable. There needs to be landlord accountability.
I was talking to another
people that need to move.
I was talking to another business owner Thursday night, and he was kind of curious, like, what is the point anymore when his rent is so high, and his BRZ fees and his taxes are so high, and I agree. And then you throw in like the fact that there's no parking down here,
and there's the customers. Where are the customers? It's like, okay.
And I mean, it's nice now because the weather's really good, but what happens when the weather turns to crap, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so the isolation kicks in again.
Yeah, I think people just have decisions to make, and that's it.
It takes a lot of courage to try and open a business. Imagine opening a business during COVID.
I just did.
Well,
brand new
concept opening. Where the Jerry Arnold Gallery was next to Pita Pit, a new business just opened. And I was like, good for you. I went and met the owner, and I told him congratulations on opening his business. It's a iPhone repair place, which you guys know I need a lot.
Oh, that's nice.
And so
that's
there's
perfect.
So next to Pita Pit there is
what else do we need downtown?
We need a lot.
We need some stuff. That's what I was thinking. Is
we lost our seamstress,
and maybe if we just all shop with each other and barter and like work together, that people have to have a membership to actually come in, because it's like, no, we just can have everything we need right down here, and we will invite you in if we want.
Another shout out to another new business is the wine bar over at
totally.
They're
great.
What is it?
Jenna and Dave. Steel and Vines.
Steel and Vines, new. So I think it takes a lot of courage because
House of Ham just moved down here too. Did you guys talk about?
No, I haven't. But I saw they moved down. I thought they closed. But
no, they didn't close. They moved from a little further downtown, like by Top's Pizza, down to 5th.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I also saw, unfortunately, that Just for Pets closed down.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good store.
It's scary because the big corporations are closing too. David's Tea, there's lots of organizations.
Did David's Tea close?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
so did GNC.
Indication of things.
Yeah.
It's okay. We have to weather it and be creative and just keep going.
I see a lot of opportunity. Talking with Rachel the other day, she asked me, what about Pride community and community here in general? Mm-hmm. And I noticed that a lot of these cliques and, the music scene, the dining out scene, these cliques of people who you saw on the daily and the weekly are gone. Because we're not seeing those people. So everyone's online and it's all like this. But you don't get to like have a glass of wine at the Erica, go hear a Shayla Miller song live, and be like, I remember, I like you.
Yes,
I like your music.
That's a reminder, absolutely.
To have like a chat. Like we don't have those weekly or daily interactions with people. It's all online. So it's really important to like, I don't know, just we have a lot of potential for rebuilding. We got any comments, Shayla?
I saw one from someone that I wanted to read. I don't know where it went.
I think for me too, it's again.
You got it?
It's not a comment.
Oh, it's not a comment. She saw your name watching and she liked it. Look for a DM later. I saw Jody King is watching, and I miss you, Jody.
Miss you, Jody.
I love you. We have actually hit
congratulations to Jody.
Okay, I got to tell you a quick story. Our friend Jody is pregnant.
Oh.
She's expecting. So she posted her pregnancy baby bump on the internet, and she was like, Levi, I was mad at you because I sent you a picture and it said ugly dress, no, fat or pregnant, like in a dress. And then she's like, fat or pregnant? And I was like, but she never hit send. So it was like sitting in her, like, she wrote it and didn't hit send. So
Classic.
she thought I didn't ever reply. So I'm like, congratulations, you're pregnant. She's like, I was mad at you. She's like, she sent it to me before she announced it to the world.
Right.
But she didn't hit send.
Funny.
So have you ever done that, wrote a message to someone and you realize you never hit send?
Yeah.
Especially
for like 3 weeks.
Like-
and it's like, why didn't that bitch respond to me?
Right.
And they're like,
oh,
it's still in the draft, so I haven't even responded.
Oh my gosh. I hate that. The messenger, I'll be like, I never hit send.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, there we go. I kind of misstepped. I just want to say, when you said that bitch, I try to use male pronouns as my
come
disses.
on.
I do.
Well,
Because I'm getting sick of, because I do go to those female pronouns for disses, and I don't want to. So I'm like, that ball sack, like that bastard. I try to
well, can I say, I think that it was a girl I'm talking about. I'm going to call her a bitch.
Call her a
The
bastard.
guy I'm
Girl
talking
calling
about,
a
I'm going to
girl.
call him a dick. Whatever. Like, you can say what I feel.
I know. I just felt like I misstepped on my thing before. I just wanted to clarify that for my audience, or our
Well,
audience. So, anyway.
I'll clarify that I don't share that view.
And that's totally cool. That was a great show.
It was lovely.
It was lovely to have you
Yeah.
both on
Thank you,
here.
Levi.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So tomorrow morning,
was good.
what are we gonna do? We're gonna download. I'm gonna say it right. Big Hair, Little City.
Small city. Small city.
Small.
I swore on your promotion
A few times.
many times. So let's just make a hashtag for your
Levi
The
swears.
Big Hair, Small City.
download it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Listen to it on Spotify on repeat. Let's
Yeah.
get you in those independent charts.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, the real charts.
Yeah.
You're,
Yes.
yeah. Recording artist Shayla Miller.
Thank you.
Thanks
Levi.
for coming
Yeah,
on here.
Thank you.
We do wish you were singing, but then we'd really get some crap.
Ew.
Come check out Plum this Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday and Friday and Wednesday,
Saturday and
Wednesday,
every-
Saturday days.
every day.
So Wednesday,
No, not
Saturday
yet.
days, and Thursday, Friday evenings.
Yes.
Okay.
Like not all the time.
Not all the time.
There's 4 of us.
Awesome.
There's like, well, we just hired someone else, so there's 5 of us.
How many
So
were there
we're-
before COVID?
20.
20.
So what are the hours again? Will you just say that when we wrap up the
Wednesday
show?
to Saturday, 11:30 to 4
Uh-huh.
for lunch, and then Thursday, Friday, 5 to 10.
Oh, great.
And-
so you have a little hour break.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And come in, be kind, support.
Yes.
We're excited.
Yeah.
I'm still there.
It looks
That's all you need
great
to
in
know.
there. I
Yeah.
just was in there. It
Thank
looks
you.
wonderful.
Yeah, a lot of hard work.
And your boyfriend is cute.
Very cute. We got a little jealous there.
Stop.
Someone messaged us. We talked about it.
Cute, yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us on You Asked For It. So happy to be spending this time with these wonderful people. Thank you so much.
Yes, you too.
Thanks, Levi.
Everyone have a great week. Download the single. Come see Plum. Come get your hair done at Catwalk or a Petty.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.